joined by my very special friend of so many years, but yet we're so young,
For sure.
Diana Jerome of Universal Insurance. And for many of you that have known me and worked with me, you'll always hear me say, hey, it's good to get linked up with local experts. And she, if you don't know, she is one of the best local experts that you're going to find when it comes to the purchase of your home and protecting your home, because that's what it's all about. Is we got to protect our home, which is our investment, which is a huge thing right now. I mean, this market is nuts. So all in all, about being protected, you're going to protect us, roof, inside, outside, everything. So
Everything you
yeah.
need to know.
Oh my gosh. And there is so much to know, you guys. So there's not only with the crazy market that we're in, as Diana knows, so for so many years she's been, helping agents like myself and homeowners like you and agents, is that the market is crazy, but not only because of rates and prices and inventory, it's because of insurance costs that we're seeing now, right?
Yes, tremendous rate increases. And that's caused by a lot of fraudulent activity in the state of Florida.
Ugh.
And we have been hit so severely for over 2 years. You know,
Oh
Lisa,
yeah.
I've been talking about
Oh,
it
you've been preaching. Let me say preaching about it.
for
So
over
yeah.
2.5 years now, and it's getting worse.
Right.
And it's going to get worse before it actually gets better. So, but the thing you need to know, buying your home in Florida is a great investment. We all
Mhm.
know it right now. Last year we
Yep.
had over 20%
Yep.
increase in our values, and that is still happening right now. In fact, I saw a statistic recently, Lisa, that said that in Florida we have about 1,000 people moving in per week
Yes.
now.
It is nuts.
Crazy. And on the insurance side, and of course on the real estate side,
Yep.
we're seeing so many people with cash offers, and the,
Ugh.
the demand is
Yes.
crazy. And of course, buying new homes, you have to get on a waiting list. It's just
Yep.
been a lot going on. But for the homes that you want to buy that are already built, the tips that we want to give you here today are the most important. Number one, when you want to buy a house, find out the age of the roof.
Oh my gosh, and that has been a huge thing, hasn't it?
That's been our number one problem because there's a legal loophole in the system. No real way for us to get around it, if we're going
Right.
to be honest. So you want to make sure that roof has 3 to 5 years shelf life
That means left on it.
left on it. And let's be honest, folks, when you have a 30-year architectural shingle roof in the state of Florida,
Mhm.
it's not going to last 30 years. You're lucky if you get 20. So keep that in mind. But statistically speaking, once that roof hits 15 years of age, that's when the problems occur.
Right.
And it's already gone 75% of its life. It's gone there. So that's a good time for you all to say, hey, I need to start saving money
Right.
because it's like a car, it's a depreciating item.
Yep.
So, other than a hurricane or a tornado or total devastation from a fire, then you have to save money to replace that roof. And that's what we're all about here. Making sure we have pride in our ownership
Mhm.
because that's everything. It's the most expensive purchase you're ever going to make. You might as well have it insured properly and taken care of and up to date.
Absolutely. I mean, because this is a big thing. So, as a seller, and you're going into thinking about selling your home in this market, the first thing that an agent, hopefully, especially if you have me, I'm going to ask you about all your age of your roof, your AC, everything in the home, because it adds value or decreases the value of the home. And that's a huge thing. So, if we're not up to knowledge about, well, how old our roofs are and this and that, home inspector's going to get up there and you're going to be like, oh, roof is not anything left on it. And
Yeah.
then, there goes insurance for the new buyer because you're not going to write a policy on
The,
that.
the thing is that nobody is going to insure it
Right.
unless that roof is replaced if it's reached the end of its life. So it's something that you have to really have your team of experts, folks. That's why you have your realtor. Your realtor is the person that is going to guide you. Trust them. That's what they're there for. I know so many really good realtors, and Lisa, you do a great job with yours,
Thanks.
and it's a pleasure to work with your clients on a regular basis. So thank you for that.
Oh,
That's
she's
the
so
truth.
good.
And we're about to hit 19 years on
Oh
Thursday.
my
So
gosh.
celebrating Universal Insurance, and thanks to all of my friends like you. But the most important thing, guys, is remember the 4 points. When you're buying a home that's over 25 years of age, nothing wrong with them. That's
No.
excellent. Just make sure that what we call the 4 points are up to date. That would be the roof updates.
Yes.
Make sure they're permitted. Very important.
Oh,
Plumbing updates, if any, they may not need it. Also, electrical updates, you want to make sure you've got the breakers, minimum of 150 amps.
mhm.
And then, of course, the AC inside and out
Yeah.
updates. You don't want that unit to be over 20 years old if you can help it. And also, the water heater. A lot of you are going with tankless these days.
Yep.
Love it. That's not a claim in the making for us. So, that's a wonderful thing.
Woo.
And that's something, because when you're going to buy a house, and listen, right now the tin roofs, the metal roofs are becoming very popular.
Very.
Don't be shy about them. They last forever. You can get insurance on them for 40 years without a hassle on them. The
Wow.
tile roofs have their own issues, but just make sure that you get your inspections. Know what you're getting into
Yep.
before you sign.
Absolutely. I mean, because so many people will be like, oh, I'll waive my inspection. I know this house is great. Or because the house is only 2 or 3 years old, which this is an example right here. I had a client, we wrote a house, which was a model home for a builder. It's only 2 years old. It was a sales center. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No one's lived in it, only the salespeople. We do the home inspection, and she's like, oh, I really don't think I need one. I'm like, let's just do one just in case.
Yep.
It came back a laundry list, which we know a home inspection is always going to be a laundry list.
The honey-do list.
It is. It's like, but this had breakers. It had roof shingles that were missing. It had a number of things that you would not think about, but because it was a model home, the client thought, oh, I don't need one. No. Sorry. Yes, it's like, $450 to maybe $600 to do this, but it could save your life because the sellers of this home didn't want to repair anything on that house. And pricing it out, it was over $4,000 worth of stuff she was going to have to pay.
See?
So she backed out of the contract. She's
And
like,
they wouldn't pay for it? They
No.
wouldn't negotiate?
didn't want to negotiate. They were like, take it or leave it. And we're like, leave it. So we moved on to the next one. So inspections are so important. And if you're not sure about, what they cover, you've got a great homeowners insurance company. Your real estate agent will advise you. But I suggest, like Diana said, I mean, it's worth the sanity and peace of mind to know what you're getting yourself into.
Absolutely. And one of the things we pride ourselves at in Universal Insurance Agency, Lisa, and you know this, we'd rather try to help you from the beginning.
Yes.
Buying a home is so stressful. The realtor works so hard, the lender works so hard, and you get all your hopes up. So let's try to find out early on in that inspection period if it's really worth your time
Yeah.
and money. And that's the time that you also can negotiate, right, Lisa?
Absolutely.
Explain that a little bit more, please.
So during your inspection period, you have typically in the past was one of the contingencies, as we would call it now, because right now we're trying to face no contingencies when you put a contract in, because the better your offer and the less contingencies.
it's the market right
It's
now.
the market right now. So in the past, you'd have a contingency up to 15 days for your home inspection. Right now, agents like myself, we're writing them for 7 and 10 days, maybe even 5, because that gives us up to 5 days to do the inspection, walk through the home, renegotiate it if we find something wrong. And if it's a question on something, like I've even asked you and your team before, where something's popped up and we're like, is this a big deal when we get insurance? And thank goodness Raquel and the team over there of girls have all either caught it and said, no, don't worry about it. It's okay. You're under the timeline of what we would write on. Or, ooh, you're going to need permitting. I'm going to need to know more about this issue before you can move forward. So the inspection is really important. So you have that time period from, let's say, 5 to 15 days to figure this out. And at the end of that time period, if you and the seller and the team have not worked it out, that's your opportunity to back out of the house and get your escrow back.
Absolutely. And just move on to the next one. But I have to say, one of the things we're finding, and again, I've been doing this for a long time, and I've worn your real estate hat, but we're finding, and maybe that's why I'm known for trying to help both sides negotiate so much and make the deal work.
Yeah.
You know you want the house, and you get excited, and the realtors work so hard and get finding you that property. The lender's got you pre-approved. Why don't we try to work with the listing agent?
Yep.
And I know that in your case, when you're a listing agent, which you've done a great job with that as well, I find that we're able to negotiate sometimes because it's
Yeah.
going to come up again.
It is.
So why don't we take care of it from the very beginning? So everybody's happy, everybody's a winner, and we can
Absolutely.
move on to the next deal.
Because if one inspector's found it, another one's going to find it. Just know that. It's not because, oh, that inspector's bad or, oh, he's too picky. If one finds it, they're more than likely all going to find it. And then that seller is going to be right back to where they were. And so is that listing agent trying to negotiate the same issues they found on that inspection report with another buyer. And now you're wasting my time because as a seller, you're like, you want it sold? More than likely they found a house already in this market. So they want the house sold. So let's work through it. And if you're not sure about it, you can always ask your insurance agency, about homeowner, Diana over here in regards to like questions about the timelines and if this is important, if this is not important. She's worn the hats. She knows folks. So
Thank
reach
you.
out to her. Yeah.
Thank you.
She's a wealth of information.
Well, and we can be reached at 407-898-1116, Universal Insurance Agency, and we insure from Tallahassee to Key West.
Oh my gosh.
Please don't buy in Key West. The insurance is ridiculous. I'm just saying.
Oh my gosh. See, this is why I love her. She's always good for a plug. Woo! Yeah, but you got it. And Diana, you are like so well versed right now. You've been seen on Telemundo doing seminars on homeowners insurance, and especially with what's going on with the roofing and why.
And Channel 9
Channel
recently, they
9.
did a great spread. Channel
Oh.
9, I love them because they've been covering it so well before me. And then they approached me and again, I'm with the city of Orlando,
Yeah.
also making sure that everybody's aware. Downtown Orlando, we have this older home, so it's become a real issue. And we just want to be here to recommend and not just recommend what to do, but really give you the knowledge. Because at the end of the day,
Yeah.
Lisa, and for all of you viewers, knowledge is power.
Absolutely.
And we want to empower you so that your decision is as solid as possible.
Mhm.
And remember, every home has a honey-do list because no home is perfect. We know that.
No.
Focus on those 4 points. And if you have a new roof been a new roof has been placed since 2002 or newer, make sure you get that windstorm mitigation
I
report
was going to mention that.
for extra credits.
Yes.
Very important.
So many people will ask, okay, Lisa, what do I need to do? Because the home inspector will call them and say, okay, what do you need? And I've already pre-warned them saying you need the 4 points and the wind mitigation and the pool and, interior of the home. And people will be like, especially from up north, what's this wind mitigation? Why do I need it? What is it?
Well, let me explain
Thank
what
you.
it is and how it came about because we didn't have it before. And everybody that comes from up north or California, we've never heard
Yes.
of so many inspections. We've never heard of this. Well, you don't have what we have, the problems we have in Florida. Remember, we are a peninsula surrounded by a body of water. So we must be careful. And yes, knock on wood, we've been spared for the last few years. And we pray we continue to be spared by any hurricanes. But that creates a lot of volatility in our markets. Not just that, but this other issue that we have with the roofs. So we want to keep you posted on it.
Right.
But a lot of people don't remember Hurricane Andrew from 1992. I'll never forget August 24th, 1992 in Homestead, South Florida.
Oh my
Well,
gosh.
it pretty much plummeted that area, and the roofs and homes that were very expensive and we thought were very well built were flattened. So we said, the insurance company said, oh, we have a problem in the state. The government said we have to create something different. And that's how the building codes started to change. And they started to change in South Florida. Anyway, it finally came up to all of Florida, the entire state, by March 2nd of 2002. So every
Wow.
home that is built starting with March 2nd, 2002
Okay.
and newer have the new building codes for the roofs. And that means that the roof must withstand winds in excess of 150 mile hour
Okay.
winds. That's critical. So that is why you want to make sure that if your home is built 25 years old or prior to 2002,
Right.
that you make sure you get that windstorm mitigation report. That gives you, not only does it give you more opportunities with carriers,
Right.
so does the 4 point,
Yes.
but it also gives you a tremendous savings. It can be anywhere from 10 to 40% additional savings on your annual premium, which
That's
we
huge.
know that's huge right now in
Oh my
Florida.
gosh.
And we must continue to
Yeah.
try to save our clients money.
Absolutely. Well, and that's what you're so good at. I mean, honestly, if people are like, oh, well, who should I call? I tell them to call you because you really do try to save them the extra. You'll go the extra mile to try to save them the extra dollar.
We have to.
And
It's the most expensive purchase you're ever going to make.
Yes.
Why
Yep.
wouldn't we?
I know.
We have to take care of you.
I know.
That's why you depend on us.
And that's why you have to have a local team. I mean, I've stressed this so many times with clients come to town, especially from out of state, and they're like, "Oh, I'm pre-approved. Oh, I've got this and I've got that." And with being in it over 20 some years, which is crazy, I always say your local individuals know the area better because they know what to ask, they know what to look for, they know how to save you a dollar because they're doing it for their other homeowners. So why not, if you have me as your local agent, have your local team? I mean, and even though you may with some of the other competitors as far as homeowners insurance, she's been known to beat him, you guys. So let's just, it doesn't hurt to ask,
Well, and
right?
I want to mention something because you were talking about new construction.
Mhm.
We always say, "Gosh, if I need to go to a dentist, I go to a dentist. If I need to go to a doctor, I go to a doctor. If I
Right.
need an attorney, I'll go to an attorney." So, builders should not be in the insurance business. They really shouldn't.
No.
And remember, they're track builders. So whatever it may cost them to build that house
Mhm.
is not what it's going to cost you if, heaven forbid, there's a catastrophe after the purchase.
Yes.
Because you're not going to be able to use their team.
No.
You're going to have to go get your own builder. So keep in mind that even when you're excited about that new house, you own your policy.
Yes.
So you are the one that needs to look at it, review it, and understand it. You need to know there's a lot that goes into a homeowner coverage
Yes.
policy for the money. And remember this, folks, when you buy a house, you also buy the land. God forbid, but if that house isn't there, the land is.
Yes.
Insurance companies are not going to insure the land. So what we do is we have a cost replacement calculator,
Yes, you do.
but we do it based on real cost of materials and labors at today's prices, not from a track builder standpoint.
Right.
So whatever they offer you, please call your insurance agent, get a quote, make sure they do their own cost replacement cost calculations, because I promise you they're going to be different.
Oh my gosh, especially with today's market with trusses and windows and appliances. Everything is like gone through the roof, and even to find it,
Just
you're out-
lumber,
oh
just
my gosh,
lumber, the cost of lumber.
it's nuts. So can you imagine what the cost today was to replace something compared to even what it was 8 months ago? So like Diana's saying, if a builder told you this 8 months ago, the cost to replace it now is already increased because of everything that we're in with this market today. So you got to take every advantage possible to not just, I guess, second guess people, but look for yourself. And if you don't have a good person to call, I mean, you're hopefully a real estate agent. If it's not myself, you will be able to ask your agent, who do you recommend? And that is the best thing to do, is to ask. And and maybe if they don't know anybody, go next door to the homeowner next door and say, hey, I'm your new neighbor next door. Who do you recommend? I mean, but more than likely, hopefully you'll have a good team of experts, and it's so important. I stress that every show. Your local experts are so important to you in finding and researching everything you need to know about owning and living in your home. So they're the best referral and best word of mouth is a referral like that. So
That's
yes.
exactly right.
So, and that's what we ask for, is referrals, because word of mouth is best.
And
Because
that's
we
the
are
only way
awesome.
to do it. But if you need anybody, it's good to have your team of experts and professionals, folks, because when things happen, hey, if somebody refers you to me, I'm
yeah.
going to do my best
Yep.
to try to make you proud.
Yep.
And that's what we should all be doing. Have your integrity intact.
Absolutely. So, what is probably, I know this is because there's a lot of crazy things happening right now. What is something, I guess, like, is there maybe a forecast or some type of thing that you can stress people to really look for this year when they are dealing with homeowners insurance?
Make sure if you're buying a used home, make sure you have the proper updates. Make sure, find out the claim history on the subject
Ooh.
property you're buying. Remember, folks, now in Florida, like a vehicle, your claim history follows you as a person
Yes.
and your vehicle. In homes, it's the same. It follows you and your new property. So try to find out from the seller
Which we did.
what's going on and what can be done, because we need to know. Insurance companies, if they find out that there's claims that are not disclosed, or they find out that We don't know why. Doesn't mean that we can't insure it, but we not need to explain it to them
Right.
to get an exception and an approval. And everything has an exception. Didn't you and I just
Oh.
recently go through one of those? I know we did.
Oh my gosh, we did. So we went through an amazing process because she solved the issue, her and her team did. And we closed on the home. My buyers are super happy. But we went into purchasing a home, and the seller was an elderly lady, super sweet, and she disclosed and had all of her permits that she renovated her bathroom because there was a small leak. So she just renovated everything basically. Well, come to find out, there was also something that happened maybe with a lightning strike, and it came down as a fire. They put it in the insurance company as a fire, but actually it was a lightning strike and it blew a power box, and it was bigger than what it was. Well, she forgot to mention it. Diana and her team finds it, says, did you know there was an electrical fire issue along with all this remodel stuff? Almost had to cancel the deal, you guys.
Because the lady didn't remember, and that's okay. We're human. She was in an assisted living facility, you might remember.
She was, and she was so sweet, and she felt so bad. Needless to say, this woman and her team were like, okay, wait, let's figure this out. Let's go backwards. Find out everything you can from the seller, which, again, she was so awesome about giving us information. And she goes, oh, yeah, that did happen. And she had the paperwork. Thank God. We sent it to
But
Diana.
it almost cost the deal because we were 10 days in
Oh.
and couldn't get an exception, couldn't get an approval because we couldn't explain it.
Yep.
Once we were able to get the explanation in writing, then we were able to get the exception and they were able to close on time.
Absolutely. On time was a big thing because my
Because
clients.
we were like this.
Oh, and they were driving in from Colorado. My client sold their house in Colorado. They were driving in, trying to do a simultaneous close so they could get everything here at the same time. And if it would have been anything later, she would have been laying in their U-Haul truck in the driveway for 2 or 3 days. But some insurance companies could have said, you know what, figure it out on your own. Not my problem. I already told you that I can't write it. See you later. But you guys went so the extra mile.
Thank you.
And
It was our pleasure, honestly.
my gosh, and my buyers were so excited. I think even the listing agent was so impressed, and it was just one of those things where, again, you've got to recognize the people that are on your team because you cannot do anything without a good solid team beside you. And it's not me, myself, and I. It's me, my team, and all of us together working together to get you sold or into a home, and it's so important. Oh my gosh. And if you don't, I'm sorry guys, it's time to flush the system and find some new ones. Okay, don't be ashamed. We've all had to cleanse the soul sometimes, so if it's not the
Absolutely.
right fit, find the right fit.
Next.
Exactly. See ya. So what else is there? Come on,
There's
you
so
got
much going
something
on with
coming up.
homes. There's just so much going on with homes. And I mean, this is the perfect time, folks, to start looking to see your coverages. You know, there's a lot that goes on. I was just talking about on a home in a homeowner's policy, but find out about your personal belongings. This is something that I say to folks that a lot of times they don't know. They're so anxious and excited about buying their new home and closing. Please take a video of everything you own once
Oh
you
my gosh.
organize it. Just take a
Organize it.
video. Organize it. I promise you, if God forbid there's a theft or a fire, you're going to be in shock and
Yep.
you're not going to remember half of what you own. So it's the right thing to do.
Yep.
Take videos of it. And then that way, if something happens, you're better protected. And I also say to everybody, now's a good time to check your AC filters, your water heater, make sure that's everything is
Yep.
good with that. The hoses to your washer machine, your refrigerator line, and your dryers. Your
Yes.
dryers for the lint.
Oh my
Make
gosh.
sure those are all, they could be hazardous.
Yes.
So please take time. This is your spring cleaning time,
Oh
like
my
I call
gosh.
it. And remember, hurricane season's around the corner. Our rains are starting to come. And just because you may
believe
not
it.
be in a flood zone, Lisa, that doesn't
Oh.
mean you're not going to flood.
Oh my gosh.
So
yes.
consider your preferred flood insurance, which is, you can get it at any time. There's a 30-day wait,
Okay.
which we understand because if there's a hurricane coming,
Yeah.
you don't have any idea how many people call us for flood
Oh my
insurance.
gosh. I can imagine. Like, oh, I don't know if I'm in a flood insurance. Well, the hurricane's coming tomorrow.
Oh
Sorry.
God, please. But anyway, what the point is, just go ahead and get it. Get the smallest amount. One of the things that happens in Florida, because we are at sea level, and if we do have a flood and you're not in a flood zone, what you're going to really worry about would be the flooring, the baseboards. And if it touches any little bit of your wall, they've got to cut the drywall 3 feet up. So get the minimum, but get some peace of mind because that's
Yeah.
priceless.
Yep. No, it's, I didn't even think about that. That is really good. See, I learn something every day. That's why I do my job, because you never know. So yes,
I
oh
want
my
to
gosh.
thank you so much,
Oh
Lisa,
my gosh, you have so.
for
I mean,
having me here with you today.
please, you've done so much, and you do so much for the community. I mean, besides speaking, you're always educating. And if you don't follow Diana on Facebook and Instagram, you need to, because, like I said, she's always educating. She's talking about homeowners insurance. She's talking about insurance, period. Tips for spring cleaning, what to do and what not to do. So, what is your Facebook? Is it just under Diana Jerome for Facebook and Instagram?
It's under Diana Jerome, but there's several. So myuniversalinsurance.com is my website. And for that, go to myuniversalinsurance Diana Giron, Giron, Universal Insurance Agency, 407-898-1116.
So excited, but she's always on TV. And now, speaking of this, let's do a personal note. The woman is completely remodeling her whole house, and she created all of it herself.
Thank you, Lisa.
Oh my gosh. So
Very
literally
excited.
she took pictures, and she has this design team. So talk about a full renovation. The woman went from like, here I am to, oh, here I am. Okay. So no, it's going to be so beautiful. We'll have to do like a show there to show before after thing.
Absolutely.
Oh my
We're
gosh.
happy to do
Oh
so.
my gosh. But no, and then with everything else, so we're headed, gosh, St. Patty's Day is Thursday. You have your 19 years of being open as well.
On St. Patty's Day. That was it. That was the first day. So I'm wearing green.
Sure, you need to wear green all week.
I am.
You need to. You need to wear green all week. And you also get St. Patty's Day. And for all of you that know, I always support Johnny's Filling Station, huge St. Patty's Day party over there.
Best burgers in town for sure.
Best for sure. And then also April 9th, we are going to be at a very large event at the Orlando Harley Davidson. It's going to be all the proceeds are going to the Nemours Children's Foundation. And if you'd like more information on that, we have one of the largest and biggest AC/DC cover bands coming to town and performing that night. So if you want to be in the know that night and want to be part of Orlando's hottest and funnest and amazing crowd of supportive individuals, that is going to be the night. The Orlando Housewives will be there. Diana's going to be there. We've got some great sponsors coming from all over the U.S. to be part of this event. So if you want more information on that or be part of the event, please give me a call, and I'm happy to give you the information, as well as great spring tips, because we're jumping into spring. We sprung forward on Sunday, which I still don't know why, because I'm still trying to figure out this whole time change.
It should go away.
Oh
I think we all agree. We're the only ones that have it right now.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy. I mean, I like that it's staying lighter at night, but other than that, I just was totally messed up. So if you need anything or you have questions about the markets, you're not sure if you should sell, you're not sure about buying, you just want a great resource of information, you have two amazing ladies sitting, I'm going to boast on myself,
Of course.
sitting right here that can be happy to help you and also point you in the right direction as to assisting you. Because if we don't know the answer, Diana and I are very, very good at, I don't know, but I'm going to find it for you.
Absolutely.
That's how we've stayed in the business as long as we have. So again, it's Why Not with Lisa, your favorite Coldwell Banker real estate agent, and my special guest.
Diana Duran with Universal Insurance Agency.
What's the website again?
myuniversalinsurance.com, your one last insurance agency.
See, she's
One stop, I meant.
your one last. That's
Not-
right.
yeah, definitely
It
last.
will be your last one that you'll ever call again. So thank you so much for joining me, you guys. And it's going to be a fun-filled week this week, because you're probably going to see me tomorrow. You're definitely going to see me St. Patty's Day, because we're going to have a lot of crazy stuff on Thursday. And next week will be fun, packed full of great opportunities on some of the best inventory that you'll find coming up. So happy Tuesday. Again, it's Lisa with Why Not with Lisa. It's Coldwell Banker and Diana Jerome of Universal.